ni Murata wa Ngai TV.
Ndogo ni makinya matũritwaranaga nawe guka ni mohoro-ini ma
uteti guku bururi-ini ona nja wa itoka cia Kenya,
wonjoria,
ũkũria n'ũthii wa na mbere,
urimi ona githomo,
ũgima wa mwĩrĩ
ona ningĩ mathako. Nyitanagĩra na ithuĩ thĩinĩ wa Murata Miaraho,
thĩinĩ wa Murata thaa ĩmwe
na Murata thaa 3 cia hwaĩ-inĩ.
Kenyitanagĩra naniĩ Wanjirũ Wainaina
na niĩ Mũciri wa Mwangi,
oro na niĩ Mũthuri Tigĩcĩra.
Amu gĩkĩ nĩkĩo gĩtwe kĩa mohoro marĩa makwĩgiĩ.
Eno ni Murata wa Ngai TV.
Murata wa Ngai, eno nĩ timu ya Kĩgoco ya Theophilus Church Jathaine.
Tũgĩgwĩtĩra mahoya ma o mweri marĩa magakorwo
mweri ũmwe wa gatano kwambĩrĩria thinacara cia rũcinĩ
kanitha-inĩ witũ wa Theophilus Church Jathaine.
Muoroto wamo nĩ gũcokeria Ngai witũ ngatho na kũhoera andũ arĩa arwaru.
Magatongorio nĩ ndungata ya Ngai Archbishop John Gĩthire.
Ndũkanatĩre.
Eno ni Murata wa Ngai TV.
Cilegetie kwihanda wega thaa mũgwanja cia mĩaraho. Gũkũ nĩ kwa Murata wa Ngai TV, metha-inĩ ya mohoro nĩtwekia mohoro marĩa makwĩgiĩ. Njĩtagwo Mũciri wa Mwangi, nĩ ndoka tũmũrĩka riboti iria tũkũharĩrĩirie gũgakinya na ithaa rĩrĩ rĩa mĩaraho. Nĩ mohoro bebere na tũkĩambĩrĩria na ici ciĩgiĩ thogora wa maguta kwambatĩra na kũrũmĩrĩra kĩagago kĩa maguta bũrũri-inĩ. Mũthĩ wa gũkio mũthĩ, kamĩtĩ ya kũrũmbũiya thogora wa maguta bũrũri-inĩ nĩyo EPRA nĩ ĩrĩkirie gũtangatha thogora mwerũ wa maguta, ũndũ ũrĩa ũtũmĩte twaranĩrie na amwe a arũgamĩrĩri a inyuĩro cia maguta na matereba hamwe na ene matatũ cia ũkui wa mũingĩ. Reke tũnyitanĩre na mwandĩki witũ wa mohoro twamũkĩra riboti iria tũharĩrĩirie ndagĩka-inĩ ĩno.
Majina naitwa Kanisha Solwach. Mimi manager hapa ni inaitwa Dominion Energy. So tumekuwa na kosekana kwa mafuta. For sometimes mafuta ikikuwa inakuja kidogo kidogo, saa zingine unauza inaisha, unakosa. So jana tumeona bei zimepanda. Na sasa bado tuna face shortage, bado kuna shortage. Mafuta ukioda ina take time kufika. Saa zingine inapata tunaishiwa na mafuta. Before jana ndio April ilitangaza the new prices. But from previous orders tulikuwa na order na ile bei ya kitambo, ile Nilikuwa tukitumia mwezi wa 3. So from leo ndio mkioda mna prices na mnaoda na new prices. From leo kukosekana kwa mafuta imefanya tupoteze sales. Sasa kama sahii hatuja manage kuuza mafuta, so wenye tulikuwa tukiuza sasa ile sale yote hatujakuwa nayo jana. Na hata leo kutoka asubuhi hatujauza mafuta yote. Tunauza tu gas na lubricants. Kukosekana mafuta sijui nini inaendelea, lakini hii mafuta kunini kukosekana kama mafuta imeshuhudiwa kwa sababu ile mambo inaendelea kwenye mafuta inatoka. Kuna mambo ambayo hatujaelezewa vizuri. Kuna mafuta inafika kwa nchi ama
haijafika.
Hapo ndio hatujajua. Lakini kuna mafuta yenye iko, I think labda mafuta itoshi ni kidogo. Sasa ile rationing inafanya sisi kukosa mafuta kwa stations. Kuna rationing inafanywa kwa supplies.
Na tuli oshigie maguta ni ndamenyithio ati matereba a muingi au kuiwa muingi hamwe na aruti wira aria makorwo makihuthira ngari na hamwe na akui a bodaboda arao matinotigo na thutha na mari na wa kuga.
Sasa kama mimi inani affect kwa sababu saa kama saa natoka Mlolongo. Sasa unaona pesa yenye nilikuwa nabeba nayo customer anasema ako na hiyo bado. Hawezi ongeza. Lakini sasa unaona unapiga hesabu utakosa kumpeleka namna gani? Na ni customer wako. Sasa unaona shida inakujia hapo. Alafu kitu ya pili, serikali iweze kutuambia hata kama mafuta imepanda ndio kuna vita, mafuta inaweza toka kwa 178 mpaka 206. Haiwezi kuwa hivyo. Mafuta iwezi panda namna hiyo. Lazima hiyo mafuta ingekuwa imepanda hata 228 bob na huyo mtu pengine ulikuwa unamtoa hapa unampeleka pale bypass na 50. Sasa hebu niambie mtu ukimwambia akupee 70. Sasa atatembea. Na akitembea kazi yetu itakuwa imeharibika. Na serikali inajaribu kucheza na watu kama sisi. Kitu ya kwanza, unaona kitu ya kwanza kama sisi watu wa bike. Tunasikia uchungu sana kwa sababu kama Ruta alikuwa amesema atatusaidia. Lakini akaleta pikipiki za stima. Sasa akaleta pikipiki za stima, sasa hizi zetu zikose kazi. Ndio zake ziendelee. Naona kitu kama hiyo bado. Sisi hatuwezi jua itaenda paka lini kwa sababu anatudanganya bado vita iko.
Jitagwo Joseph Goge. Kuma go kumebri ya bypass. Menya tuongerera maguta macio ri. Niguo oguo ngina indo citu cirathi igoro. Ona utari uona mwene ngari gwikira maguta lita 5 lita 5,000. Ona no thina. Tondu riu turamenyerete maguta me 166. Ndio ni gwikirwo maguta ma 5,000 no thi kunene. Thaa ici maguta ma 5,000 ona guthie ngina Mombasa road gucoka maguta maya kwaga ni marahutia muno ona mwene tari ngine igatiriri mwenya maguta ni marongererwo na ndio ria tugwikana gutire wira ona tari wona customer angiuka hai ni turamatwaragira na free delivery thaa ndungi mutwarira tondu moru ngari no irinywa maguta ona ti maoni makwa ri ni mapunguze maguta kana marekererie meri wengi turehere maguta.
Na tutiganira ciege maguta ni ati mucii munene wa Nairobi nikuo andiki a mohoro maragomanite hamwe na nyumba cia mohoro na kugia na giikaro na kamiti ya kurua na ungumania EACC niguo kwaririria njira cia kuhitana na king'uki giki bururi-ini kia ungumania. Kikomano-ini giki na andiki a mohoro mahoete kuheagwo ugitiri riria maramukira kana maramurika ciiko ciĩgiĩ riboti cia ungumania.
Last National Ethics and Corruption Survey, we found that the media enjoys the highest level of public confidence among all the stakeholders in the fight against corruption, and that was at 67%. And this is a powerful endorsement.
Journalist is threatened over a story in the public interest. The EACC and security agencies must provide a safety parameter. No journalist should ever have to choose between their life and the truth.
If they go down to EACC, they should not be told, I am not at liberty to share the information. It's the last place the journalists expect to hear that.
We want to see EACC conducting investigations and arrests completely out of the blues. Not because some politician has fallen out with the boss, and so somehow things start happening. Suddenly they are not up to date on their KRA remissions. Suddenly there's a project they did that they did not. Timing is everything. And I need us to be aware that after this meeting, we will not have improved the fight on corruption, Chairman, until we change the law and give the EACC powers to actually prosecute their own cases.
In the last 3 years, the convictions that were secured by the Commission were 72, and the assets recovered within that period was 7.4 billion, and we averted potential loss of 10.74 billion Kenya shillings.
Haven't we just watched in 2 years, since 2022, how 18 cases were withdrawn? High-profile corruption cases were withdrawn. They just collapse somehow. 18 of them.
Remember that when the media speaks truth to power, it does not wage war against the state. It redeems it.
Na watongoria a ndini na kiuteti kuma kaunti-ini ya Nandi ni marareganite na uteti wa njukaniriro ukumakiuga uyu ni uteti utari kihariro hakiriro watongoria aya mauriti ateti kuhe gitio wabici ya president nigetha magacirithia thayu bũrũri-inĩ. Tũrĩa mwandĩki witũ wa Mohoro arakunengereria riboti ĩno.
Ofisi ya baba, then family haipo. Hata kama baba ana degree ama hana degree, yeye ni baba. Kama hakuweza mambo mengine, yeye ni baba. Heshimu baba na umsaidie kwa maovu ama kwa matatizo ambayo ako nayo. Lakini kama nyumbani itakuwa ni kushinda kila kukicha, kuchoma nyumba, kuchoma mahindi, kuchoma store, kuiba ng'ombe, kufanya hiyo yote, hiyo nyumba haitasimama.
Nake Minista wa Gitiri Kipchumba Murkomen ni athiĩte mũcemanio-inĩ wa gũkũngũĩra kũhumbwo thũmbĩ wa maabitha bũrũri mwena wa Embakasi kũrĩa amatũgĩrĩtie nĩ gũkinya gĩkĩro-inĩ kĩu gũkũ akĩmomĩrĩria na njĩra nene. Murkomen erĩire maabitha aya kũheo thũmbĩ atĩ nĩ megũkorwo magĩcarĩrio kanya wa kũruta mawĩra nĩgetha gĩthomo kĩao gĩtikanateanĩrio. Riboti ĩno nĩ wĩna wao.
A police station, security installations, courts, people's businesses, government offices, the parliament, and that behavior has led us to rethink about the training that we give you. It is important, and you heard the Inspector General of Police speak here, that it's important, therefore, to retool and rekit you to be able to have the necessary skills to be able to serve your nation better amidst this challenge. Number one is that in terms of values and principles, your curriculum, I have been told, including the one you've been going through here, is to ensure that you get the necessary skills to understand values and principles of our Constitution, to ensure that you understand the value of patriotism. You came here as recruits. Few months ago, you were jobless, and you prayed every day to get a job. Most of you dreamt to serve our country in the National Police Service. And some of you, and in case most of you come from extremely humble background, you perhaps be the only child who has been employed in your family, or even in your locality, and in some cases, even in your location. And you might be a pioneer, a firstborn in your family or your community to get a job. More importantly, when you arrived and you are recruited and brought here, you definitely met Kenyans from all walks of life. You trained together, you ran in the morning together, you went through the hardship training together, you went through the pain of shaping you to become a better person, become a better athlete, a better police officer, a better soldier. But beside you was a Kenyan from another region. It was not your relative, it was not the person you came with from your village. And therefore, this training, if there is nothing that you should take away from this training, you will have to take only one thing from the training of the National Police Service, you must take the value of patriotism, the value of nationalism. Because when you leave that gate and you are going to serve the people of Kenya, you will be expected to treat all Kenyans equally without consideration of their tribes, region, religion, or their social background. That is extremely important. If you are patriotic enough, you will know that when you exit that gate, you will not involve yourself in partisan political engagements. And therefore, you will give every Kenyan equal treatment in terms of service as you serve the people of Kenya. There was a trend that our officers were being targeted by terrible activists in the last two protests. And they were being recruited to be content creators. And some of them were insulting the Inspector General of Police, they insulted the Commander-in-Chief, they insulted the Cabinet Secretary and other senior officers. That is unheard of. The training you receive here is not for you to get out there and go and play those political gimmicks and games. And it's very sad because some of them were lured to perform those acts of content creation for purpose of political activism. But when the chips were down, when the problems now faced them, they were left out there to suffer on their own. And I must say that, please, always carry the values of patriotism, of nationalism, of bipartisanism. That is a value that has been ingrained in you. Number two, I have been told that you have been properly trained on the constitutional principles of human rights. And those principles enable you to understand how to treat every Kenyan. You become courteous to those Kenyans. You become firm when it comes to security. You become firm when it comes to dealing with criminals. When you become firm when it comes to protecting your nation against those that want to harm your nation. But you become gentle when treating citizens of the Republic. You become gentle when you are dealing with our citizens, because you understand that those people have, our Kenyans have also their rights that have been trained, you have been trained to deal with. Because of the challenge I used to lay the foundation of dealing with the criminals, dealing with this criminal enterprise that is being run by politicians for selfish interest. You know, and it's very sad because somebody who just 2 days ago was in government, tomorrow is out there, it looks like a different animal. Once he gets to government, he speaks a different language. That's why the guarantee of safety of the country is yourself, because you must remain steadfast, looking at values and the principles that have been ingrained in you. And because of those challenges, those political and political machinations, I want to say here that we are happy to note that the training curriculum captures issues like crowd control and crowd management. At the moment, that has become among the top security challenges in our country, because people are taking advantage of the challenges that young people have. And therefore, crowd management, crowd control, use of force, including the legal and constitutional principles on when you can be able to use force, have become part and parcel of the training. And that's why you heard the Inspector General of Police speak about cases. And I must say, the IG, that to be very honest, cases of so-called police brutality have really reduced over the years because of the training that has improved. And so in some cases, when we get a few cases in there, here and there, where police officers and police station are accused of brutality, or in cases of protests like the one in Ishara yesterday in Embu, where there is a loss of life, I am happy that always the National Police Service and the Independent Police Oversight Authority have always taken a very firm stand. And I want to thank you, IG, for picking that issue and ensuring that the top investigators have been sent to Embu to make sure that they investigate that matter, and to ensure that our police officers who may have erred or may have violated the law are also brought to justice. But in the same breath, Inspector...
Na tukitigana na Shigi Murkomen ati kureka kwa waki wa gicunji kia barabara ya Lapset kuma tauni ya Garissa nginya tauni ingi kaunti-ini no ekuhuthitie kana ni huthitie mihango ya ukui wa muingi mirigo hamwe na andu kiumbe. Na muingi ni ukenereire makiria ni mbura urirathi na mbere kura mwena ucio makiuga ati ni maratanya ugitiri onaguo ukorwo kigacirithio na njira nene.
Kuweka kwa IED kwa hii barabara kwa tarmac road ni tofauti na wakati ambaye kwa kutembelea na barabara ya mchanga. So kwa usalama itatusaidia wakati wa mvua kama huu sasa, pia itatusaidia.
Sisi tunaombea hapa leo Dubai ni mji kidogo tu, sasa tunaanza sasa hii. Serikali ataangalia na macho kubwa. Atalete vyombo, atalete chakula. Sisi atarudisha kuwa juu kidogo sisi.
Mbelele tulikuwa tunasumbuka njia za kupitia nazo, lakini sasa alhamdulillah tunashukuru tumewekewa lami kidogo. Thanks.
Na kumanagira ripoti yote ikiri hanini nigucokeria ndugathi kuraya.
Eno ni Murata wa Ngai TV.
Wi mwega mwiroreri. Njitagwo Ann Kamau, ndi marketer na sales person. Ndoka gukuhe uhoro mwega wa Murata wa Ngai TV, haria turehagirwo kiugo, tugathomithio na tugataukirwo. Oho mohoro mao ni mangenagia muno, amu makurehagira na njira ndikiru toria kurahanika guku bururi wa Kenya na nja wa bururi wa Kenya. Oho tabarira ingi mwaki ta mithako ya ngerekano ona urugi uri oho, tugathomithio ati gitunguru ni mukarangire. Ungienda utangathithia biashara yaku ona kana kambuni yaku kiumbe ona kana utangathi ongi o wothe kundu ti kungi ni guku kwa Murata wa Ngai TV kuga na gwika.
Hello guys, mimi naitwa Paul Kamanda Njoroge, the head waiter wa County Pride Hotel, and today we have a very special guest anaitwa Murata wa Ngai TV kuga na gwika. So if you are not watching this TV, don't miss a lot, because they have each and everything. Na kama uko na biashara yako hapo hivyo unataka kupigia advertisement, uko na nini yako unataka kupangia program hapo hivyo, advertisement na kila kitu, always consider Murata wa Ngai TV, because here ni kuga na gwika. Are we together?
Ndacokereria tumurika riboti ciĩgiĩ mathako na UEFA Champions League